Yes, it is the real Makai here with Makai Capital. One thing I want to let you know is to keep your options open, all right? Just because you have this doesn't mean you can't have that. And just because you have that, it doesn't mean you can't have this and that, right? Um, Keep your options open. By keeping your options open, you're always attracting what's best for you, right? Just because this was best for you this day does not mean it's going to be the same best for you the next day, especially if you're improving and you're getting better in said areas of your life, right? So you can't be scared to just keep progressing, keep pushing that ball of momentum rolling forward, and not having those thoughts of, oh, well, this is great, let me get complacent. No, be happy that you have what you have, that you were able to obtain what you've obtained, but never stop pushing that ball of momentum forward. Never stop creating new opportunities for yourself. Only person who's going to create an opportunity for you is you, right? Now, by you creating an opportunity, it's up to you to show up and show why you are the guy for the opportunity or the girl for the opportunity, right? So this past week of this job search, that's what I've been having to do. I've been having to show up as that guy, right? And each day when I show up, I'm even more of that guy. Like, this is my third day of interviews in a row, and I feel like I've had my best 2 interviews today, probably of my life, right? Because it's just like over time you should get better and better and better, right? So even becoming a better interviewee, like, or whatever the fuck I am in that situation, I now know how to navigate these conversations. I now know how to get these people to sell themselves to me, right? Sell yourself to me rather than me sell myself to you. Because my resume says one thing, my energy says one thing, right? The look in my eyes, my smile, the energy that you're getting, it's all saying, okay, this is probably the guy. So only thing that will all round that all together is you actually showing up and do what you said you're going to do, right? Or you actually showing up with that presence and with that energy rather than it just being on the resume. So if your resume says you did this, this, and this, and this, and this, but your energy doesn't give that, right? So that's not the direction you want to be headed in. Make sure that your energy matches your resume, if not exceeds it. And whatever energy you're getting from that interviewer, exceed that energy, right? Make them more lively. Make them be like, wait, let me make sure I sell this. Let me make sure I lock this in, right? You got to make them sit up. Like, you see how that was? You got to make them sit up. And the way to get people to sit up is by to keep wanting more for yourself. Keep pushing for more. Keep striving for more, right? So I go to an interview. I'm like, hey, I know I'm a little late. I just left another interview. Guy's kind of upset. And then I have a 2-hour interview, right? Because at the end of the day, we don't have to have the interview, right? We don't have to have the interview, but I'm here. I just came from another interview. I'm a hot commodity right now, sir. You could either try and get this hot commodity or you could pass up on the opportunity, right? And even carrying yourself with that energy says a lot. Like, says like, hey bro, if it's not this spot, it's the next spot. Why? Because I'm gonna end up where exactly I'm meant to end up, right? I'm gonna land exactly where I'm supposed to land. I'm gonna be exactly where I'm supposed to be. So when navigating through life and when making these decisions, it should always be about, am I advancing? Am I advancing? Is this going to take me one step backwards or one step forwards, right? And it's not about what it looks like to the public eye, because to the public eye, one step forward could look like one step backwards, right? And then in your own life, you could be taking one step backwards, but to the public eye, it looks like one step forward. So you have to know internally, are you advancing? Internally, are you moving forward? Physically, with your body, are you advancing? Are you moving forward? Economically, right? Are you advancing? Are you moving forward? In every area in your life, just ask yourself, are you advancing? And if you're not advancing, and even if you are advancing, how can you advance more? How can you advance faster, right? How can you advance more abundantly, right? That's what it all ties back to. It always will stem back to you and what you're willing to push yourself to be able to obtain, what you're willing to push yourself to be able to do, and what you're willing to be able to push yourself to learn, right? Because that's the thing, especially with jobs, right? You have to go there, you have to be the new person, you have to learn every personality, you have to learn the policy, you have to learn the menu, right? You have to learn the customers, you have to learn the busy, you have to learn so much, right? And you can't get tired of learning, right? Because even with that, it's even going to be more that you have to learn on top of that. And if you want to keep moving forward, if you want to keep progressing, guess what? You're still going to have to learn. And it'll almost be feeling like you're learning things for no reason, right? Because if you know that you got to go to this place and work here for a year or two, but after a year or two, you're not really going to, So you may be learning things that you feel like you don't need to learn, but like you have to think, by doing this, how much am I going to grow as a person, right? You got to think, like, if I'm able to learn this fast, I'll be able to learn this that much faster. So I just look at everything as a positive. Anything that could be fed negative energy, instead I just feed it positive energy. Literally. Anything that could be fed negative energy, instead I just feed it positive energy. And I don't know why I'm feeling so great today. I haven't even got my second gauntlet workout in. I got that nice pump this morning. I ain't gonna cap. I got that nice pump this morning. But I'm about to get another nice pump tonight before I go to bed. I just had me a nice barbacoa taco. I had me a cerveza. Una cerveza de Modelo. Porque it was a good day. Estaba un buen día. Okay? It was a good day. Why was it a good day? Because I showed up fully as myself. And that's what matters more to me, right? So whenever I have a cerveza now, it's going to be only for a true celebration, and I only need one cerveza. I already told y'all about how this drinking shit goes, right? I'm ordering one drink or the bottle. So I got my one cerveza. I got one sip left of my cerveza, but I was like, before I finish this sip and think my black ass about to get up, I'm a damn sure come and drop this content. And I'm not dropping this content because I gotta drop content. I'm dropping this content because I need to drop this content. I needed to drop it for whoever needs to hear this. I needed to drop it to get these thoughts out of my mind. I needed to drop this for when I look back in the future and be like, damn, bro, I was consistent on YouTube. I was talking that shit on YouTube. I'm trying to help people grow. I'm over here, that whole 9 yards I can go down. You feel me? So that's where I'm at right now. I'm at a place of peace. Because I know I'm going to keep pushing every day. I just know before, dude, I almost didn't make this play today. Dude, I can't even tell y'all how this shit lined up today. I can't even tell you how crazy it lined up today. Like, it lined up perfect, dude. It lined up so perfect. I ended up having to skip one interview. But the one interview I skipped, I probably would have got that job too. But I came up on the other two that I actually made it to. So, I could have went 3 for 3 on the jobs, but honestly, that job would have been the one that probably got dropped anyway. So, I had to rearrange and readjust, adapt. And that's the thing. I'm so adaptable. I'm able to adapt to any situation, to any given moment, to any given circumstance. Like, there's nothing holding me in place like a tree, right? I'm not a tree. And that's one thing that always stuck with me. I'm living in a hotel. I've been living in a hotel since I was 18. Not like on and off, but like I even had to do it there when I was experimenting with college and shit. And when I was living at that hotel, the front desk lady, she told me something that will always stick with me. She said, I always tell my kids, you are not a tree. I don't know, I did the Asian voice. She was not Asian. She was definitely Indian. But she will always tell her kids that they're not a tree. And she told that to me. She was like, never feel like you're stuck anywhere. Even at this hotel, she was like, don't even feel like you're stuck here. Man, I was like, bro, that shit's crazy, bro. And that was something that happened at this point, what was that, 2016? 9 years ago? And so something that this lady told me 9 years ago, up until this day, has still stuck with me. It has still shaped the way that I live, shaped the way that I move in my life. That's why some people, when they look at my resume or hear me speak, they're like, wow, this guy's fearless. He's not afraid to leave. He's not afraid to change and adapt and adjust and grow and take chances. And for some people, some employers, that is very intimidating, right? Because if they don't have anything truly solid to offer you, they know that you're going to up and leave, right? And find something that's truly for you, as you should. So those are the people who won't call you back. Those are the people who the interview will be kind of dry and it's kind of cool, but it's still surface level at the end of the day, right? So today, complete opposite. I went to 2 places where they didn't fear that. They didn't fear my ambition, I'd say. They didn't fear my ambition, right? Because we like, people who are really going for it truly understand. And I told both these people today that were interviewing, I told them, like, I recognize you, right? Like, I didn't say it like that, but I said it. So it was a beautiful thing to be able to see today, like that people can be ambitious, people can strive for more and want more in life, and it's not intimidating to the next person, right? That's like saying if I had my own business and I'm looking for employees, and the employee's like, hey, in 2 years I'm looking to start my own business, like, am I not going to have this person give their best for 2 years just because in 2 years they're going to be gone? Like, some people are thinking like that. Some people are like, oh, well, that's intimidating. What if he leaves in 1 year? Like, what if he feels like he's too good for, like, a whole bunch of bullshit? Like, if someone's qualified or even overqualified, why don't they have the job? If someone's qualified or overqualified, why don't they have the job? Simple. You're intimidating who you're being interviewed by, right? So those aren't the people you want to work for. So that's why I keep my options open, and I go for the people who feel least intimidated by my ambition, least intimidated by my passion. I go for people who are invested in growth in the company and the people that they are training and coaching up. So at both these places I went to today, they're very interested in coaching me up, not just to the bar, but management and even further. So it was amazing conversations to have, to see that, okay, not only do you love my energy, but you can see me doing much more than even I applied for right off the bat. So that's a beautiful thing to have. And that's what you want when you're going to these places. You don't want people who are scared, like even with your friend group, even with your wife or your family, whoever you may be interacting with, right? You don't want anyone to ever feel threatened or intimidated by your ambition or your passion. Anyone like that, all they're trying to do is hold you back. They'll find a way to hold you back. At my old job, I still didn't make it to the bar. I was there a whole year. I do more sales than everyone. I win every single competition we ever have. I'm literally the best there. But it doesn't matter that I'm the best there, because that's not the place where they value people like me, right? They're happy as long as everyone else is happy, right? So as long as they could keep 20 people who don't matter happy, they're happy, right? And then I'm at places today where they don't care about keeping everyone happy. They're going to do what's best for them. They're going to make themselves successful, because that's what it comes down to. The only way you're going to advance in life is if the people under you are advancing. I'm going to say that again. The only way you're going to advance in life is if the people under you are advancing. And certain people don't get that. Like, if you're the bar manager now and want to be the general manager, guess what? You need to train up another bar manager. One that's actually capable. So that's a real thing in this world, that some people are intimidated by. Some people are intimidated literally by the ambition of others, by the fact that other people are willing to try and to fall on their face and try again and not be ashamed of it, right? Because you got to think, a lot of people are ashamed of things that they do that they'll never speak of. A lot of people are in the closet in terms of their ambitions or their passions. Even the guy I was talking to today, dude, we had a whole 2-hour interview. One of the dopest interviews I ever had in my life. By far the longest interview I ever had. But, it gets to a point in the conversation where even the gentleman himself had to cut himself off. And you may be like, well, what is the case for that? And that's because we got so deep into the conversation. The conversation was so personal and so real and so genuine, like, where you're going to start telling me things like, hey, bro, I might not even know you next week, right? I might not even ever see you again after next week. And that's how we got that deep into the conversation, So you're like, damn, bro, I gotta cut myself off. What if you just are here today, tomorrow, and then you're fired the next day? Like, damn, bro, I gotta save something. I was like, yeah, bro. But that's how the conversation was flowing and smooth, genuine. And anything that you're doing in life, any endeavor that you're taking, anyone that you're interacting or communicating with, that's what you should look for, right? You should look for where it's effortless, where it's easy, where people are just opening up, right? Opening up for no reason. They got to stop themselves like, damn, bro, you're extracting all the information out of me, right? And one way I learned how to extract information out of people is to become a better listener. I used to want to do all the talking until I would be looking up and realize, like, I don't know nothing new, right? I would always want to do all the talking, and I think back on the conversation, and it's just a bunch of shit I said. And I'm thinking like, oh, well, maybe I could have said like this, maybe I could have said like that. Rather than having a whole dialogue, a whole script, a whole story, a whole movie that someone else could have told me. I would say we talked for 2 hours, me and this interviewer, and I could honestly say I probably spoke 20 minutes worth. I'm talking an hour 40 to 20 minutes. And normally I would be the hour 40 minute guy. Not in an interview, but just in conversation in general, right? So that was a big turn of events for me. And I just realized it was so many points in the conversation where I wanted to jump in. I just did a little slightly too, just to let him know I'm engaged, just to let him know I'm paying attention. The questions I asked were you making sure I'm paying attention. And then that's what I just realized. I was just like, the more I pay attention to this, the more I get to know people. When people feel known, when people feel heard, when people feel valued, when people feel seen, when people feel respected, right? They're more likely to be open and be giving, be willing, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, wow, that's why I'm always open and willing and giving, because people just listen to me rant for hours and hours and hours and hours. So I literally put myself on the opposite end of that today. I give people my spiel. Hey, this is me, right? I'm the guy who's ambitious. I take chances. I take risks. I'm here now because I understand what I want and what I want to build. Take it or leave it. That's where I'm at now. And I feel like that's where we should all be at. Even the guy today, he said he's looking for someone to take his job. He's ready to advance. Exactly. The only reason why he's like, damn, bro, I'm looking to coach someone up to take my job, because he's looking to advance. The only way you can advance is if you get someone under you to advance. So if anyone's scared for you to advance, anyone's threatened by your advancement, that's because, guess what? They're done trying in life. They're done trying in life. Those aren't people that you want to interact with or associate with. So before I beat this dead horse too long, stay focused, stay disciplined, stay consistent, and I'll see you on the other side. Simple.